oh boy, did DeWanna Bonner send a message to the Indiana Fever, okay? And late last night's game, I saw it, okay? DeWanna Bonner was not playing with the Fever. She called Lexie Hull a bum to her face after scoring on her. And then she was kind of getting into it with Sophie Cunningham throughout the entire game. Okay, obviously it appears to be some bad blood between them, but the Indiana Fever got destroyed in last night's game, and we have to discuss it. Guys, late last night, I watched the live WNBA game, the Indiana Fever versus the Phoenix Mercury at the Phoenix Mercury's home court. I have never, and I don't even know how long, have I seen the Indiana Fever's offense just be incredibly shaken. They were ripped to shreds by the Phoenix Mercury. The Indiana Fever got blown out by the Mercury in a 35-point deficit. This game concluded with the Phoenix Mercury having 95 points, whereas the Indiana Fever was only held to just 60 points. They couldn't even get to 70 points in last night's game. DeWanna Bonner got the ultimate revenge on the Indiana Fever. Not only was she the leading scorer of her team last night in the Phoenix Mercury, she led in points for both teams. DeWanna Bonner wanted that revenge. She had to get it back in blood. She had to make a bold statement, and she did just that. Because the last time these teams met up, it was at the Indiana Fever's home court, and they destroyed the Phoenix Mercury. Okay, I believe it was like an 8+ point deficit for the Phoenix Mercury. The Indiana Fever won that game. This was almost 2 weeks ago. But last night, boy, then DeWanna Bonner, she even said it when she had left. She said, listen, y'all can say all y'all want to say about me. Y'all can talk that mess. She said, but all this disrespect publicly, she said the apologies and the praise for me better be just as loud as all this public disrespect, okay? Because, again, a lot of the Indiana Fever fans, that fan base, even her and Sophie Cunningham, they kind of was like, they was kind of getting touchy. They was getting kind of chippy. They was kind of pulling on each other, tugging on each other's jerseys, okay? It was giving some tension. It was giving some low-key resentment. It was giving beef, okay? But, again, the Indiana Fever fan base are just fans of the WNBA women's basketball. People have negative feelings towards DeWanna Bonner, and to some extent, yes, I do understand, okay? Again, this is a business, first and foremost, right, for both sides, the players and the teams and the entire league. Yes, what DeWanna Bonner did was low-key unprofessional, but what was she supposed to do? Like, y'all want her to just stay there and be like a bump on the log? Just ride the bench? Okay, she said it herself, like, I just do not fit into this team, the atmosphere, they be doing this and that, I just don't fit that type of, like, that level of play, that playing style, so let me just make my exit. And, of course, like we all predicted, right? She made her exit to the Phoenix Mercury, where she won her first championship, and with her current fiance being none other than Alyssa Thomas, okay, aka Thomas the Train, because she will, okay, she shows her brutality in almost every game she plays, okay? Ask Angel Reese. Ask anybody in the league about how strong she is. She's 6'2", 205 pounds. That woman is pure muscle. That woman is strong. I would hate to get hit by Alyssa Thomas, okay? Try to take a charge from her. She set up a screen. You just get ran through like some water. Okay, but in last night's game, the Indiana Fever did not have an answer for the Phoenix Mercury. I was actually appalled at how terrible they played offensively. Again, offensively, they were just so stagnant. But the Phoenix Mercury, that defense, I want my Chicago Sky to study that defense last night. That defense was crazy. You got to admit, even if you are an Indiana Fever fan, again, you can learn from this. The Phoenix Mercury shut the Indiana Fever down. That's why they only held them to 60 points. It was like they just could not get a shot off. DeWanna Bonner on Sophie Cunningham, on anybody. It's like they like she's 6'4", just so long and limber. They just stayed on them. Sammy Whitcomb, Alyssa Thomas, Catherine, Kat Westbeld. They stayed on the Fever girls like white on rice. There was nothing they could do. It was like they were predicting they steps. It's like they were 10 steps ahead of them. They wanted to go right, they would go right. Are you about to pump fake? I can pump fake with you. Blocked. It was just ridiculous. Again, my Chicago Sky, they need to study that game last night. All the teams, if you really wanted Minnesota Lynx, the New York Liberty, whoever going to make it into the semifinals, the finals for this year's championship, they need to see what the Phoenix Mercury did to shut down Indiana Fever. Them girls they didn't give them no time. They refused to give them breathing room and space to make a shot on them. So the first quarter, guys, the Fever was already struggling. They were down bad, down by 10 points already in the first quarter when it came to its conclusion. The first quarter comes around. The Fever scored 16 points. The Mercury scored 26 points. In the second quarter, Fever scored 20 points. Okay, they came up. And the Mercury scored 21 points, but they were still behind because of how they were down bad 10 points in the first quarter. The third quarter comes around. The Fever only scored 11 points. Let that set in, only 11 points. Whereas Mercury scored 26 points. And in the fourth and final quarter, the Fever only scored 13 points. Mercury scored 22 points. Let's break down the individual player statistics. Let's start with the Fever first. Erin McDonald, guys, she's pretty good. Okay, she's pretty good. She's only 5'6", but she's talented. Okay, I will give it to her. She played for a total of 24 minutes. I'm not trying to put the blame on nobody, but I'm making a point. She played for 24 minutes, only put up 4 points. She had 3 assists and 2 rebounds, a dud. Natasha Howard had 7 points, 0 assists, 2 rebounds. Aaliyah Boston had 4 points. Wait a minute now. She played for 26 minutes. She had 4 points, 3 assists, 9 rebounds, dud. Kelsey Mitchell, still Kelsey Mitchell. She gonna get 10 plus points, usually, okay? Even on a bad shooting night. She put up 12 points, had 4 assists, 1 rebound. The other game, like 2 nights ago, she had like 33 points. She had 30-something points. The Mercury was not with the Fever. They said absolutely not in my house, okay? Sophie Cunningham, she did pretty well. She was the leading scorer of the Fever last night. She had 18 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. Lexie Hull, again, she's hot and cold. I like her. Again, her body's T. She's 6'1", very, lean. But Lexie Hull is up and then she's down. They need to have a serious conversation about her because she could be doing more. Okay, she played for Stanford right alongside Dejanay Carrington. That's why they're besties to this day. She had more average points per game made at Stanford at this point. It has to be. Lexie Hull played for 27 minutes and she only put up 2 points. She had 0 assists and 6 rebounds. Damaris Dantas had 6 points, 0 assists, 3 rebounds. Brianna Turner had 2 points, 0 assists, 3 rebounds. And Michaela Timpson, she's been doing good. The rookie, she cooking up. In her 10 minutes of play, she put up 5 points, had 0 assists, 2 rebounds. Chloe Bibby had 0 points, 0 assists, 1 rebound. Sydney Colston, shout out to her. Of course, like usual, she had 0 points, 0 assists, 1 rebound, but she did end up getting injured. Okay, she only played for a total of 1 minute. That 1 minute of play, she had like a lower leg injury of some sorts, and she was carried off to the locker room. So again, hopefully Sydney Colston is okay. But, usually she don't give much points anyways. And let's get into the Phoenix Mercury. Alyssa Thomas, a.k.a. Choo Choo, the Choo Choo Train Thomas. She had a double-double. She had 18 points, 10 assists, 11 rebounds. Satu Sabali, okay, she stopped being a brat. She came back into the game. This is just a joke, okay? Remember, she was out for personal reasons. She put up 15 points, had 2 assists, 8 rebounds. Natasha Mack had 4 points, 0 assists, 2 rebounds. Kalia Copper had 11 points, 4 assists, 6 rebounds. Monique Akoa Makani, I like her name, it's really cute and unique. She had 5 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. DeWanna Bonner, a.k.a. the spy that Alyssa Thomas sent up there to Indiana Fever, okay, a.k.a. she don't want to play no more. She don't want to play no more, okay, for the Fever. She put up 23 points. Led the team, both teams in scoring points. She put up 23 points, had 1 assist, 7 rebounds. Sammy Whitcomb had 8 points, 1 assist, 6 rebounds. Catherine Westbelt had 3 points, 2 assists, 1 rebound. Laxa had 3 points, 0 assists, 1 rebound. Lexie Held had 5 points, 0 assists, 0 rebounds. And Kalani Brown had 0 points, 2 assists, and 0 rebounds. Again, she said what she said. She said, may the apologies be just as loud as the disrespect. Okay, she showed up and showed out. She performed. The entire Phoenix Mercury did, but even more so was Miss DeWanna Bonner. Okay, she feels some type of way. Again, nobody knows what she was going through in that locker room on the court with her coach. Who knows? But what we do know is that she didn't want to play for them no more. She don't want to play, and now she's with the Phoenix Mercury, where she got her first championship ring with, alongside her fiance Alyssa Thomas, and she seems like she's thriving. Okay, she had a lot of energy. She was blocking shots. She was making threes. She was very efficient on both sides of the ball. Okay, she made a statement. She had to be bold. She was like, listen, this is my house. I'm going to defend my home. Okay, I don't care if I used to play for y'all. Again, I told y'all, like, she was a spy. She knows, like, she probably, more than likely, DeWanna Bonner in the 9 games she played with the Indiana Fever, she knows, like, what kind of plays they be running. How Stephanie White is more so a defensive coach, more defensive than offensive. She told Nate Tibbetts and the rest of her teammates what to do with them. Okay, and I mean, hey, they made it work for them. But again, like, shout out to them. It was a good game. But yeah, the Indiana Fever looked a hot mess. Okay, the Phoenix Mercury said it's seatbelt season.